Hey everyone, Mac here with another beginner aquarium video. In this one I'm going to talk about your substrate, your gravel, any decorations that you want to put into the tank. So when deciding what to put in for your gravel, now this is for freshwater aquariums. Sky's the limit, guys. There is a plethora of colors, granule sizes. You can do a natural rock, you can do a fluorescent color, whatever you want to do with your tank. This is where the aquarium hobby gets fun, or starts to get fun, because you can personalize your tank the way you want to with the gravel in the decorations. So let's talk a little bit about what to do when you choose your gravel. First off, you want it to cover a good portion of your tank. I always went with about 1.5 to 2 pounds of gravel per gallon, and that's going to give you a pretty good bed of substrate. You can do as minimum as 1 pound per gallon. You can even go lower than that if you don't want a big bed. I always did about 1.5 to 2 pounds roughly. So for a 20-gallon tank, I'd go anywhere from about 15 to 20 pounds of rock, and that pretty good amount of gravel in the bottom. So your gravel is going to be part of your filtration system. That's where a lot of the bacteria is going to grow. That's where a lot of the fish waste is going to go that settles on the bottom. A lot of fish food is going to settle on the bottom. So your gravel is going to be part of that filtration process. So having a substantial amount, I mean, you don't get ridiculous with it, but make it decent. Now in my saltwater tank here, I went with a little bit deeper sand bed. I went with about a 2.5 to 3 inch sand bed. It's kind of hard to see because of the sand, or I'm sorry, with the stand, but there's my sand bed there. And that's where I wanted to go with it. Another piece of equipment that I failed to mention in the other video, that kind of actually goes more with this part of thing, is a gravel cleaner. They look like little weird, well, like a big tube with a smaller tube attached to it. There's some really good ones out on the market that are very, very easy to use. One in particular that I am very fond of is called the Python, and this thing hooks up to your faucet, whether it's an outdoor faucet or an indoor faucet. You can hook it up to your kitchen sink. It's very easy. It's got like a drain fill plug, almost like what you would see for a water bed. So when you twist and pull down, you're in drain mode. So all you have to do is turn the water on, start creating a siphon. It'll create it on its own. The water that's coming out of the faucet will create a small siphon, and you can put this down into the gravel, and it'll make cleaning the gravel far easier, and you will pull up all kinds of debris and nastiness. You want that out of your tank. You're not going to mess with the bacteria too much, if at all, so you don't have to worry about that. But you need to get the stuff out of the gravel, so you don't have an ammonia spike that nukes your tank. So you definitely should get and invest in a gravel cleaner of some kind, a gravel vacuum of some kind. Some are pretty inexpensive, $5-6. The Python's a little bit more expensive, but it sure makes water changes easy, and you don't have to carry the bucket and all that fun. Yeah, I don't miss doing the bucket thing at all. Bucket brigade sucks. One other benefit that the Python has is you can reverse the flow of the water. So you basically, on the little drain fill contraption that's attached to your faucet, you just push, you turn off your water, you push up, you twist it, locks it in place. Instead of draining water, it's going to put water through the hose and back into your tank. Make sure you put the chlorinator in first, or you will kill your fish. Dechlorinate that water. Chlorinate, dechlorinate, dechlorinate. So that's another piece of equipment that you might want to consider. Definitely get investing in. A good gravel cleaner is worth its weight in gold. So when you're selecting your gravel and also with your decorations, pick up, get stuff that is designated for aquarium use. Don't go out in your backyard and grab a whole bunch of rock and throw it into your tank and expect it to do good. It won't. You're going to have a mess in your hands. If it's not aquarium safe, don't put it in your tank. End of story. So when you get your gravel for the first time and you're getting ready to put it in the tank, just don't open the bag and pour it in. You need to rinse that gravel off. You need to get all the dust and particles off of your tank, off that gravel. So keep rinsing it until the water runs clear. Once it runs clear, you're probably going to be fine. Get in there with your hands, mix that gravel up, get that dirt and debris and whatever else is in there, just get it all out. Once it runs clear, and it's run clear for a little bit, it's probably going to be safe to put in. At that point, just best way is get a good plastic cup, scoop some in, get it into the tank. I always put the gravel in first before my water. It just makes it a lot easier, and you don't get a lot of splashing and stuff like that. You know, just don't dump the rock in from the top of the aquarium. You know, set it in there somewhat gently. You know, the bottom of the tank is glass. You definitely don't want to cause any undue fractures that can cause problems down the road. So, you know, put the gravel in fairly gently. Get it smoothed out and how you want it. I've seen people do a mix of colors. There's no right or wrong on that. There truly isn't. It is really open to your imagination. That is the beautiful thing about aquariums. I have seen amazing aquariums that had pink rock in it. I've seen amazing aquariums that had yellows or natural rocks in them. There is no right or wrong on it. Decorations. Again, get items that are aquarium safe. Nothing drives me more insane than somebody deciding, hey, I see this random toy that could be great into my tank. Like in the first video I mentioned, there's a video out on YouTube. I'm not going to mention the person's name or anything like that, but he says if you like Matchbox cars, throw a Matchbox car in your tank. Don't throw a Matchbox car in your tank. Couple reasons. One, though the paint on that Matchbox car is non-toxic to us humans, it could be fatal for your animals in your tank. These animals are very sensitive, and the smallest things can really mess up their gills, mess up their internal organs. It can burn their scales. It can do a number of things. So even though it says it's non-toxic, it's better to not put that in. Find something that is truly aquarium safe. That way you know that the manufacturer that made that item had your animals in mind and the safety of their well-being in mind when they made that product. A toy is designed for a child to play with. It is not designed to go into aquariums. You also don't know what's in that toy. Let's use the Matchbox car for example. You don't know what oils and lubricants and what other processes that car was made with. They don't list that stuff on the back of the packaging. Don't believe me? Look, go to the toy section of your local store, get a Matchbox car, flip that thing over. It's not, it might say die cast metal and plastic. That's it. So you don't know what kind of lubricants was used to make that die cast metal. You don't know what kind of other processes and stuff is in that car. That stuff can leach out into your tank and do way more harm than it will good. It might look good at the beginning. Water and metal tend to rust, and it's going to leach stuff off, and you're going to have a problem in your tank. Don't put it in. Just leave it outside the tank. Set it next to your tank. Set it on top of the tank, but not inside the tank. Leave it out. Put only aquarium approved items in your tank. End of story. Now this goes also for things that you find in nature. You may find this amazing piece of driftwood at your local lake. And you're like, man, that would look amazing in my tank. Don't put it in. Don't put it in. You do not know what that log's made of. You might know what that is. But you don't know what organisms are in there. You don't know how long it's been in the water. You don't know if there's parasites in that. You don't know what kind of bacteria is in there. It could kill off your good bacteria. It might add to the good bacteria, but you don't know if there's any parasites that may come out and infect your fish. Leave that stuff out. Same for rocks that you might find. Though they might be amazing, they look good. Unless you're a geologist and you know what that rock is made of, keep it out of your tank. Just if it's not designated for an aquarium, my best advice is leave it out. That way you don't run into a problem down the road and you wake up one morning or come home from work or come home from school and your tank is cloudy or your fish are gone or something catastrophic like that has happened. Just leave that stuff out. That is my best advice. Just leave that stuff out. It is no place in your aquarium. If you like it, you want to keep it, put it somewhere else in your house, but not in your aquarium. Just leave it out. So when you get your decorations home from your local fish store, or if you bought something on Amazon or whatever, or from a online fish retailer, wash it off really good, but do not use any soap. Don't use any chemicals of any kind. Just rinse it off really good. You may even take like go buy a clean toothbrush and just use it for your aquarium stuff, and just kind of scrub it with a toothbrush really good with some clean water. Again, don't use any soaps. Don't use anything that's going to leave a residue on that item to be later leached off and harm your aquarium. So with that being said, I think this one's going to be one of the shorter videos I've done regarding the series. That's pretty much what it is for decorations and whatnot. Again, the sky's the limit. You can put whatever decorations you want in there. You can put whatever fake plants, fake rocks, real rocks that you bought from an aquarium that have been approved for aquarium use. The sky's the limit, guys. Your imagination, let it run wild. Have fun with it. This is where you can personalize your tank to you, and it can be fun. If you're having trouble getting ideas for how to aquascape your tank, go online, Google some images. You'll find there's millions of possibilities on how to aquascape your tank, and none of them are wrong. They're truly none of them are wrong, other than putting random items in your tank. Again, don't do that. I really cannot stress enough not to do that. It is a surefire way to a problem down the road. So with that, we will move on to the next phase, and that's going to be getting some water in your tank and start that process and getting it ready for fish. See you in the next video. Hopefully you're learning some good information. Leave comments if you have questions. Feel free to ask. Throw them in the comment section. Send me a message. Whatever. I will answer them the best I can. Again, I am not the super know-it-all, but I have done freshwater enough that I can probably answer your questions very, very well. Saltwater, I'm still learning, but if I can't get the answer, I will find out the answer for you. If I can, I'll do that. Alright, have a great afternoon. I will see you in the next video.